Path. 273. Of all the paths the Eightfold Path is the best. Of all the truths the Four Noble Truths are the best. Of all things passionlessness is the best. Of men the Seeing One is the best. 274. This is the only path, there is none other for the purification of insight. Tread this path, and you will bewilder Mara.
275. Walking upon this path you will make an end of suffering. Having discovered how to pull out the thorn of lust, I make known the path. 276. You yourselves must strive, the Buddhas only point the way. Those meditative ones who tread the path are released from the bonds of Mara.
277. All conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path to purification. 278. All conditioned things are unsatisfactory. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path to purification.
279. All things are not self. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This is the path to purification. 280. The idler who does not exert himself when he should, who though young and strong is full of sloth, with a mind full of vain thoughts, such an indolent man does not find the path to wisdom.
281. Let a man be watchful of speech, well controlled in mind, and not commit evil in bodily action. Let him purify these three courses of action, and win the path made known by the great sage. 282. Wisdom springs from meditation, without meditation wisdom wanes. Having known these two paths of progress and decline, let a man so conduct himself that his wisdom may increase.
283. Cut down the forest, but not the tree, from the forest springs fear. Having cut down the forest and the underbrush, be passionless, O monks. 284. For so long as the underbrush of desire, even the most subtle, of a man towards a woman is not cut down, his mind is in bondage, like the sucking calf to its mother.
285. Cut off your affection in the manner of a man who plucks with his hand an autumn lotus. Cultivate only the path to peace, Nibbana, as made known by the Exalted One. 286. Here shall I live during the rains, here in winter and summer, thus thinks the fool. He does not realize the danger.
287. As a great flood carries away a sleeping village, so death seizes and carries away the man with a clinging mind, doting on his children and cattle. 288. For him who is assailed by death there is no protection by kinsmen. None there are to save him, no sons, nor father, nor relatives. 289. Realizing this fact, let the wise man, restrained by morality, hasten to clear the path leading to Nibbana.
Maggavagga, miscellaneous. 290. If by renouncing a lesser happiness one may realize a greater happiness, let the wise man renounce the lesser, having regard for the greater. 291. Entangled by the bonds of hate, he who seeks his own happiness by inflicting pain on others, is never delivered from hatred.
292. The cankers only increase for those who are arrogant and heedless, who leave undone what should be done and do what should not be done. 293. The cankers cease for those mindful and clearly comprehending ones who always earnestly practice mindfulness of the body, who do not resort to what should not be done, and steadfastly pursue what should be done.
294. Having slain mother, father, 2 warrior kings, and destroyed a country together with its treasurer, ungrieving goes the holy man. 295. Having slain mother, father, 2 Brahmin kings, and a tiger as the 5th, ungrieving goes the holy man.
296. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily who day and night constantly practice the recollection of the qualities of the Buddha. 297. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily who day and night constantly practice the recollection of the qualities of the Dhamma.
298. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily who day and night constantly practice the recollection of the qualities of the Sangha. 299. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily who day and night constantly practice mindfulness of the body.
300. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily whose minds by day and night delight in the practice of nonviolence. 301. Those disciples of Gautama ever awaken happily whose minds by day and night delight in the practice of meditation.
302. Difficult is life as a monk, difficult is it to delight therein. Also difficult and sorrowful is the household life. Suffering comes from association with unequals, suffering comes from wandering in samsara. Therefore, be not an aimless wanderer, be not a pursuer of suffering. 303. He who is full of faith and virtue, and possesses good repute and wealth, he is respected everywhere, in whatever land he travels.
304. The good shine from afar, like the Himalaya mountains. But the wicked are unseen, like arrows shot in the night. 305. He who sits alone, sleeps alone, and walks alone, who is strenuous and subdues himself alone, will find delight in the solitude of the forest.
Nikàya, hell. 306. The liar goes to the state of woe, also he who, having done, says, I did not do it. Men of base actions both, on departing they share the same destiny in the other world. 307. There are many evil characters and uncontrolled men wearing the saffron robe. These wicked men will be born in states of woe because of their evil deeds.
308. It would be better to swallow a red-hot iron ball, blazing like fire, than as an immoral and uncontrolled monk to eat the alms of the people. 309. For misfortunes befall the reckless man who consorts with another's wife, acquisition of demerit, disturbed sleep, ill repute, and states of woe.
310. Such a man acquires demerit and an unhappy birth in the future. Brief is the pleasure of the frightened man and woman, and the king imposes heavy punishment. Hence, let no man consort with another's wife. 311. Just as kusa grass wrongly handled cuts the hand, even so, a recluse's life wrongly lived drags one to states of woe.
312. Any loose act, any corrupt observance, any life of questionable celibacy, none of these bear much fruit. 313. If anything is to be done, let one do it with sustained vigor. A lax monastic life stirs up the dust of passions all the more.
314. An evil deed is better left undone, for such a deed torments one afterwards. But a good deed is better done, doing which one repents not later. 315. Just as a border city is closely guarded both within and without, even so, guard yourself. Do not let slip this opportunity. For those who let slip this opportunity grieve indeed when consigned to hell.
316. Those who are ashamed of what they should not be ashamed of, and are not ashamed of what they should be ashamed of upholding false views, they go to states of woe. 317. Those who see something to fear where there is nothing to fear, and see nothing to fear where there is something to fear upholding false views, they go to states of woe.
318. Those who imagine evil where there is none, and do not see evil where it is, upholding false views, they go to states of woe. 319. Those who discern the wrong as wrong and the right as right, upholding right views, they go to realms of bliss.
Maggavagga, the elephant. 320. As an elephant in the battlefield withstands arrows shot from bows all around, even so shall I endure abuse. There are many, indeed, who lack virtue. 321. A tamed elephant is led into a crowd, and the king mounts a tamed elephant. Best among men is the subdued one who endures abuse. 322. Excellent are well-trained mules, thoroughbred Sindha horses and noble tusker elephants. But better still is the man who has subdued himself.